is going on, Raider Nation? It's JT coming at you with another episode of the Raider Cast, your podcast for everything silver and black. Raiders win, baby. Let's go. First win of the long win streak. I'm predicting we go on from here on out. It was an absolute domination of the Texans. It was looking shaky in the first half. It was tied 10-10 at the half, and we end up scoring 28 points in the second half to the Texans' 10. We destroyed them in the second half. Josh Jacobs is an absolute monster. 20 carries for 143 yards, 7.2 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. It's bonkers. It's absolutely insane. Devontae Adams had a great game, 8 catches for 95 yards. 0 touchdowns, but that's okay. Matt Collins got a solid touchdown, 2 catches for 44 yards. Hunter Renfrow had a damn near solid game, 3 catches for 55 yards. Foster Moreau had a solid game and as tight end 1 for now, 3 catches for 28 yards. Jacobs had 3 catches for 12 yards, and Amir Abdullah 2 for 7. The end is there, fine, whatever. But Josh Jacobs had over 150 yards total. Obviously all of that was from rushing. He's just been on an absolute tear. He's on 140 plus yards in the past 3 games, 1 touchdown at least, averaging well over 5 a carry. He's just absolutely insane. This is the Josh Jacobs we were promised when we drafted him. Was it 20th overall in the 2019 draft? This is a first round running back. The offense runs through Jacobs right now. Carr is playing safe football. He's playing fine football. I no longer have any issues with Carr. He's not, doing anything flashy, nothing super crazy, but he's making the plays. He's doing what he needs to do to get us the W. That's all I ask of him. Don't make mistakes. Don't fumble the ball. Don't throw picks. And we'll win as long as we pass off to Jacobs. Keep that connection to Adams good. Throw it everyone else here and there. But Adams, Jacobs, Carr, that's our offense. Our O-line only give up 1 sack. I mean, we're not talking about really, elite defense or anything like that. But Texans defense is still pretty, solid overall. In general, they caused turnovers. They allowed only 19 points per game heading into this game. So they give up a lot of yards and stuff like that, but they would, have solid clamps in the red zone, have good solid turnovers, stuff like that. None of that happened today. We had only 2 fumbles. None of them lost. Our offense was humming. This is exactly what we need. If we had this offense the first 3 weeks, we should very easily be, what would we be, like 4-2 right now? 5-1? Because I think the Chiefs game we lose anyway, because our offense was playing at its highest capacity. We just couldn't finish, which is fine. It's the Chiefs. It's always going to be hard. But against everyone else, we could have dominated them easily. Could have given the ball to Jacobs against the Cardinals. Could have given it to him more against the Chargers. I think we end up 4-2. We flip-flop it, but that's okay. We can still go on a run. Chargers look like shit. They lost brutally to the Seahawks. It was like 37-23. That's their second 2+ score loss this season, which is something we don't have. We have a positive point differential at 2-4. Broncos lost to the Jets 16-9 or something like that. It's like their offense is terrible. Even without Russell Wilson, it's just dog shit. The Chiefs look like the Chiefs. They're unstoppable. They put up a lot of points on the Niners. So Niners defense is supposed to be really good, but they put up a lot of points. So there's some hope for our defense, but not really. Still haven't given up a 100-yard rusher, which is impressive because there's been a lot of 100-yard rushers this season, or in games at least. Davis Mills picked us apart, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Obviously, one of them pick 6 by DURON HARMON, which was a massive play. But overall, our secondary looks trash. See how Averett does with more practice and more weeks, actually playing. DJ Turner is definitely a game changer for our offense. He can do a lot. He didn't catch the ball today, but he had 3 carries for 20 yards. That's pretty good. He had some explosive plays. He had that fumble on he recovered it on a muff punt, which, you know, again, gonna happen. He recovered it. No harm, no foul. Should definitely see that cleaned up, you know, as the weeks go on. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about the offense. It looks really good. Foster Moreau looks like a very solid tight end. Renfro looks back. As long as he doesn't fumble, he should be fine for the rest of the season. Mac Hollins is as reliable as ever. Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. Carr has been solid. All that good stuff. Defense now, as much as I love our defense, it's definitely rough right now. We don't have any talent on that side of the ball. You know, Max Crosby this is his first game without a TFL, I feel like. He has 0 TFL, 1 pass deflection, 4 total tackles, 3 solo. It wasn't his best game, but, you know, he still played solid. Devon Diablo had 11 total tackles, but, I mean, he didn't really have a great game. Abram, I mean, just the defense in general. Yasin gave up some, you know, like one play at the beginning that I heard about. Anthony Averett looked rough. Trayvon Murray looked rough. Basically, it's our secondary sucks unless we have Hobbs and Yasin playing. Obviously, Hobbs had like a bad game against the Chiefs, so, you know, there's give and take there. But Hobbs is clearly our best corner, clearly our best DB in general. Not to take away from DURON HARMON, he's had some big plays, but, you know, the fact that I'm saying a 30-plus-year-old DB is our best safety right now is kind of sad. There's just no talent. I mean, the fact that Matthias Farley got snaps, Cleveland Ferrell and Chandler Jones, they record their first sacks of the season. First sack by a Raider for Chandler Jones is only a half a sack. Yeah. I mean, Nichols had a better-ish game than he usually does. Yeah. Darian Butler was getting snaps. Neil Farrell had 0 tackles. He had 1 QB hit. It's just not good. Defense is not doing well. I gave up 20 to the Texans, which they haven't scored over 17 this season, which, in all honesty, we shut them out in the fourth quarter, shut them out in the first quarter. They haven't played a full game of football yet. Like I said, looked rough at the beginning, but they took control at the end, rough third quarter. But like I said, they pulled away. They got points for us, which is huge. That's our second defensive touchdown of the season, which is like crazy because we haven't had one in like 2 years before now, or 3 years before now. So that's pretty damn crazy that we're finally getting, you know, explosive turnovers. And if our defense can just get explosive turnovers, that's how our 2016 defense was. It was not a good defense. It was carried by one guy, Khalil Mack. So this year's Max Crosby. And they just went off explosive plays. They got turnovers, they got picks, they got forced fumbles, stuff like that. That's how our defense worked last year, too. They weren't a good defense overall too much, but like towards like the beginning half of the season when we were rolling, we got forced fumbles a lot. We didn't get a lot of picks, but we got forced fumbles. So honestly, if our defense can just improve on trying to get picks, trying to get, you know, forced fumbles, stuff like that, strip sacks, that'd be huge. But it's just, I can tell that if we could definitely make playoffs this year. I'm not saying that. It's not impossible, but we're not going to go on a run this year with this defense, where the talent is. There's clearly players like Yasin. You know, there's obviously Max. You have Perryman if he comes back. Harmon has been solid. There's players that, you know, can have impact. I mean, Andrew Billings has been pretty good overall this season. Like, he hasn't had explosive plays or anything like that, but he's a solid run stuffer and stuff like that. But everything else in between is just no, it's bad. It's not good. Our depth isn't good at defensive tackle. Depth isn't good at CB. Depth isn't really great at linebacker right now. Jayon Brown is out, but he wasn't playing well. Devon Diablo is tackling, but he's not doing anything in coverage, which is what we thought he was. It's just kind of a mess right now. A lot of, you know, Hobbs being out is huge. I mean, versus the next 4 games, nervous for the Saints. I mean, I don't know what the Jaguars are going to be that week. They are kind of like a random, so we'll see. But, yeah, it hurts to say, but our defense is definitely hurting right now. Holding, you know, Texans, I mean, 20 points is 20 points. It's not a lot. That's enough to win a game. So even if we didn't get the defensive touchdown, even if Josh Jacobs, got one less touchdown or something like that, we still would have won the game. So we're getting better on that front. And in all honesty, as long as our offense, hums, stays like this, plays solid, especially when we get Hobbs back, I think we should make enough plays on defense to get wins. They made enough plays in the early half of the season to get wins. Our offense just didn't execute. Now our defense isn't executing, but our offense is executing, and now we're getting wins because that's just how NFL works. If your offense wins, you'll win. I mean, we're in a very point drought in the NFL right now, so it kind of sucks to have a really bad defense right now, because if we didn't, then we probably need more wins, stuff like that. I don't know. Defense just needs to play better. I'm a big defense guy. I had hope. After the Chiefs game, I was like, it was the Chiefs. They're going to give up points. And our offense had a chance to score. But against the Broncos and the Texans, they give up points to teams that shouldn't be scoring that much. But our offense got it done in the end. We got defensive touchdowns. Honestly, getting, like I said, big explosive plays. That's when we get wins. 2 times we've gotten, a defensive touchdown. We've won the game, like each time. So, not saying that we need a defensive touchdown to win. I'm not saying that, but it's definitely a sign that, we're going to win the game if we get defensive touchdown at this point, because it's a 100% win rate when you get a defensive touchdown. But more turnovers from the defense, and we should be fine. More sacks from someone else besides Max Crosby. Finally happened, but need more from everyone else. I remember I was watching the Tape Don't Lie post-game show. And it's basically like someone else needs to step on the defense besides Max Crosby. He can't do it alone, which is true. Because today he didn't have a great game, and our defense looked like ass for most of the game until HARMON got that pick 6. It doesn't get that pick 6, it probably ends up being 32-28 or 31-28 with 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go. You gotta hope our offense puts points up on the board, otherwise we risk losing again. So it's stuff like that. You need to have someone else on that defense make plays other than Max. But I'm very happy with the win. I can't be too mad and I can't be too upset. Feels good. Feels good to win. Saints next week. Could be a tough one. They have a good defense. Their offense is not looking hot, but sometimes that doesn't matter for us. So we'll see what happens next week. But if you stayed to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like the video and subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because I try to post a lot during the week. Injury updates, my thoughts, moves, stuff like that. Trade deadline coming up, so definitely keep an eye out on that. Yeah, I'm at 192 subscribers, so 8 away from 200. So like I said, if you like my content, I try to put as much silver and black content as I can for you guys. Try to make it look nice, try to make it sound good, all that stuff. I try different types of videos, not just talking to you guys. But definitely comment if you want to talk, subscribe, like the video, and hope you guys had a great day. I know I did, because the Raiders won. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, Raider Nation.